Hi, Attorney Ummi here. Thanks so much for tuning in today. So today we're going to be talking about a very important topic that so many people are interested in. We're going to be talking about why naming a guardian in your will alone is not enough to protect your kids. Okay, let's dive in. So when you create a will, you typically name a person or a few people who will be the guardians for your children. Now, the problem is your will does not become effective until you pass away. Well, what happens when you become or if you become incapacitated before you pass away? For most people, the chances of becoming incapacitated before you die is pretty high. So, when you're in that stage of incapacity, there will not be a legal document that will determine who will take care of your children or who will temporarily be in charge of your children's care at that time. So, what happens in that situation? Well, it depends on the circumstances. Now, I want to share two different scenarios and see what would happen in each scenario. For the first scenario, let's say, for example, your kids are with a family member that you know and you trust. There's a good chance that that family member is going to take care of your kids while you're in the hospital or incapacitated. Now, that's the best case scenario. Okay, so what happens at that point when another family member steps in and claims superior right to take care of your children? Then there could be unnecessary tension and possibly conflict that would have to be resolved by a judge. So for the second scenario, let's assume that your kids are with a random babysitter or they're at a daycare. In most situations, if the time is up for the babysitter or the daycare is closing, they will give you like a grace period in case you're running late. However, if you were actually incapacitated and in an accident, chances are you're not going to come back and pick up your child on time. Well, that leaves them no option but to call the police, call the authority, or call the Child Protective Service. This could mean that the authority would have to take your children and temporarily place them under the care of a CPS facility or, in some cases, with foster care. This could mean that the authority would have to take your children and place them in a temporary facility, which in some situations could mean putting them in foster care until they're able to find a family member who can come forward and take over the kids. And in that situation, the authority has no obligation to give your children to people you have named as guardian or guardians in your will. Because again, your will is not effective until you pass away. It is not a legally binding while you're still living, even if you're incapacitated. Well, how do we fix that? Here is how. You can fix that by creating legal documents that will fill in the gaps left behind by that will. And that is exactly what we do for our clients at my law firm, Law and Law Group. We help our clients set up a set of documents that will make sure that their children do not ever end up with CPS or foster care or anyone they would not want taking care of their children. One of the documents we create for our clients is called the Nomination of Temporary Guardian. And with this document, you can basically appoint someone who lives nearby, even if you don't have your long-term guardians living near you. You can appoint someone else who can be a temporary guardian, and that person can be in charge of taking care of your children before the long-term guardian is been appointed or they're able to come and step in and take care of your children. Another document in that set of documents that we create that is also legally binding is a medical power of attorney. So say for example, your children are sick while you're incapacitated, you're also in the hospital. There's going to have to be someone who make medical decisions for them or who is in charge of taking them to the doctor. Now, if that person has no legal document to be the one making decisions for them, there's going to be a problem. So that's why we create that medical power of attorney for your temporary guardians as well. And then another thing we do is a small card that you can carry in your wallet next to your ID card, so that the authority, can be able to have access to it if anything happens to you. So say for example, you are in an accident, that card can be found directly next to your ID card and it states, I have minor children at home, please call these people that we have listed on the card to come and take care of my children. We have phone number and their names on there, and the authority can then call these people instead of calling the CPS or taking your kids to foster care. And then the next thing we also do is a one-page document, which is basically instructions that you give to any babysitter or any daycare where you take your children or you leave your children with someone, a random babysitter. And that document states that these are the people that you want them to call to come and take care of your children. Instead of calling the police, instead of calling the Child Protective Service, your daycare or your babysitter can call these people that you trust to come and take care of your children while you're incapacitated or while you're at the hospital. Lastly, we also have a document that basically summarizes all of the medical information for all your minor children. So everything that has to do with their allergies, their doctors, their medical history, or any medical conditions that each of them may have, just so that it can serve as a quick reference for your temporary guardians to know everything that concerns your children's health. So even though naming a guardian in a will alone is not enough to protect your children, this can easily be corrected with proper planning. If this is something that you're interested in and you would like to properly protect your minor children, you want to put a plan like this in place, then schedule a free call with me. I will be more than happy to talk about that with you. I hope you have found this video helpful. If you did, please share it with your family and friends so that they can also benefit from it, and I will see you next Wednesday.